Hi everyone, this is Lewie coming at you. Another edition of my videos, my conservative videos, the videos that the Dems don't want you to see or hear or understand. I want to talk to you today a little bit about this mess with the Mueller report. I was just listening to our local NPR station. They had an individual on there. I wish I could remember his name, and I can't. I'm lousy when it comes to names. And if it's a name I hear over and over again, I'll remember it. But if it's a name I hear once, 2 minutes off of whatever subject I was on where I heard that name, and I don't remember the name. Unfortunately, that's just the way my memory works. However, he was on there, and he's running for president. He's supposedly the governor for Colorado. He's one of the Dems running for president. And he's a firm believer that we're having a climate change problem. He's also a firm believer that the Mueller report should go to Congress unredacted. A lot of people feel that way. I don't. And I'll tell you why. The reason is there is information in that report that isn't supposed to be public. Congress, especially since Trump has taken presidency, has been famous for leaking information that shouldn't be leaked. Proof, all those leaks that we had when he first became president. Hillary's personal server. That was leaked by somebody from Congress. I'm sure of that. I don't have proof. I'm just sure of it. That's my opinion. But they're constantly leaking. In fact, this was going on even when, in the 80s, when I was growing up, a member of Congress leaked out that we had a brand new warplane, a fighter plane, the F-117 and the B-2 bomber. So, Congress is known for leaking, so why would it be plausible and intelligent to release an unredacted report? Congress can't keep their damn mouth shut about what's going on in there. How can they keep their mouth shut about a report? They can't do it. Someone's going to get stupid and leak the information. Now, the information that's been redacted fell under 4 different categories. Now, one of it was presidential privilege. Not one category. It was grand jury information, personal information of witnesses, and there's a couple other categories. I don't recall what they were. But it was all stuff that really Congress doesn't need to know. Now they want Mueller to come in and testify. Well, this is the investigation into the investigation I spoke about in my last video. They want him to come in and tell him what was in his report. What good is that going to do? Other than waste more time, more taxpayer money. Now, this guy also wants to do a better health care. Medicare for all is what he called it. That's all fine and dandy, Medicare for all, except for one minor little detail. This country can't afford it. We can't afford it. Our deficit is over $21 trillion. That's a lot of freaking money. That's more money than I'll ever see in my lifetime, all put together. Even if I worked in a bank and opened up the safes and looked inside where all the cash is held, it's still going to be more money than I'll ever see. That's a lot of freaking money. And yet they want to do Medicare for all. Now, there's also a problem with the Social Security. There's a trust fund that's supposed to cover the shortages. Well, that's all fine and dandy, except for one minor little detail. We shouldn't have to use that trust fund. Back in the 50s, when Kennedy was president, he made it possible for Congress to, in my words, steal from Social Security to close the budget deficits. At the time he made that possible, people were able to retire with almost the same amount of annual income as they were making before they retired. So President Kennedy said, you know what? Let's take from Social Security. And now they don't know what they're going to do about this problem. Well, I know what they can do about this problem. Return the money they stole. Because it ain't the first time they've done it. Or it ain't the last time they did it, rather. They have done it on a regular basis since the 50s. Return the money. No big deal, right? Well, it seems to be. Here we are, we've got a bunch of individuals earning $175,000 a year, becoming millionaires, and yet they can't take any of that money, that extra money they're getting from lobbyists to vote in their direction against whatever it is that the people really want, and they can't apply it to Social Security. I'm sorry, but if you're earning money on the government, on the backs of the government, on the backs of the taxpayers, that money, that extra money you're earning, should be going towards something that this country needs, like the reduction of our deficit, Social Security, or other social programs, whether we like to have them or not. And I want to touch a little bit on the welfare system too. Yes, fewer people are on Medicare or on food stamps. Fewer people are on welfare, but a lot, not all, a lot of the ones on welfare are career welfare recipients. What they do is they get on welfare at a young age and they stay there. And to keep the welfare checks coming in, they keep having babies. The more babies they have, the more money they earn. Okay? I can see why they're doing it, because it's an easy way to get a raise. Problem is they're doing it on the backs of the common working person. Excuse me. The common working person. So this is what we need to do. This will fix the whole welfare problem right up front. 18 months from the time you sign up to the time you get kicked off. Not asked to leave. Kicked off, cut off. Okay? In those 18 months, you can get job training if you need it, and find a job. When you sign up for welfare, we cover the kids that you have and or are pregnant for. If you get pregnant for a child after you signed up for welfare, the government, the taxpayer doesn't cover it. You're on your own. So, for example, say you're the parent of 2 children, okay, and you're pregnant for a third. The government will cover all 3 of those children. Because I'm a firm believer that an unborn child is as much a human as a born child, whether it be a day of conception or a week of conception or whatever, okay? However, if you have, say, 2 children and you're not pregnant for a third, after you sign up, if you get pregnant, and I don't mean after you get approved, I mean after you go walking in there saying, I want welfare, if you get pregnant after that, the taxpayer don't cover it. That's on you. It's called fiscal responsibility. All right? If you can't afford a child, don't have the child. There's 2 things that'll stop that from happening. 1, contraceptive. 2, a surefire way to keep it from happening is called abstinence. If you can't afford the babies, don't do it. Simple as that. Don't have them. All right? If you must have sex, use contraception. There's several types out there. There's implants that you get in your arm. There's implants you can get inside your private areas. There's condoms. There's pills. There's shots. There's no reason why you have to get pregnant. And the funny thing is Medicare covers all of it, except for maybe the condoms. Medicare will cover it. So, with all that in mind, I'm going to let you all go. You have a good day.